Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Hey.
How's it going, guys? Jesse here. I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm a kind of an OG friend of the Longhairs here. I've known him for about, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 years, I think. Became friends over Instagram, came down to San Diego, and love these dudes. Can't say enough good things about them. Performance 360 was kind enough to let us use the gym here and get an awesome chest and shoulder workout in. We started with a light activation exercise to warm up the chest, moved into some heavy pressing on the bench press, dropped down in weight after that, did some speed bench with some bands, moved on, did an extended set to really fatigue out the chest as much as possible, and then just blasted a little bit of shoulders to finish it off, and then ended with a good cardio, heart rate little Metcon just to pump some blood in there and finish us all off. All right, so we got a nice little chest activation warm up here. We just took a relatively light band and attached it to a post at about chest to shoulder height. And we're using this to isolate the contraction of the chest. So you're gonna stretch all the way out, so you just have a tiny bit of tension in it. Bring your free hand forward and you're going to essentially give yourself a high five. Pull it all the way to crest, hold it for a second, bring it back. And the nice thing about this is now the band has maybe a pound of tension here. And as you pull it, now it's like 20, 30 pounds of tension. So you're accelerating through the movement, really focusing on that contraction, which is gonna help benefit the bench press and fix your lockout and give you a really good squeeze and feel in your chest and make you feel like you're actually working out too. And we're gonna go 15 reps per side. Make sure you stabilize the core, keep the hips even, and just flip around. Same thing, opposite side. A little bit of tension, bring it in. And you want to make sure that your arm is about 90-95% straight. You don't want to be fully extended and you don't want to be in a full curl. Just kind of lock it in, keep a soft elbow, and you'll be good to go. About 2 to 3 sets, kind of till you feel like your chest is starting to warm up. We're not trying to kill it on this, we're just trying to get the chest active for when we bench press. It'll work a lot more. So we are going to start on bench press now. So some things to go over this. The wider the grip you go is gonna isolate your chest a bit more, but we want to start with a very strong position. So during the movement, if you're a somewhat experienced bench presser and you know where your weak point is, like your sticking point during the range of motion, so when you start and you go down, say the really hardest part for you is to get it going off your chest, and once you get it going off your chest, you're good. We wanna make your forearms in a vertical position at whatever your weak point is. So if you're weak at the bottom, you get your forearms at a nice vertical angle at the bottom. It'll increase your power here, but it'll take away a little bit at the top, but since you're stronger there naturally, it'll all even out. If you're weaker at about halfway, you can widen that grip, make sure your forearms are vertical there, and then when it starts getting hard, you'll be in the strongest position to lock out. So for me personally, I like to go with my middle finger on the, usually bars will have a single ring, this one has a double, so I'm gonna use the inside ring today. And you wanna make sure that your chest is up as high as you can and your shoulders are down as far as you can. This will keep your shoulders in the most safest position possible. And then with your hands, when you grab the bar, you wanna make sure that you can point your index finger at the ceiling. That'll make sure your wrists are in a strong position, versus I see a lot of people doing this or this, and those are both not the best way to do it. So nice strong position, neutral wrists, chest up, and then you bring the bar straight down. It'll touch right below your chest, and then press straight back to the ceiling. And we're gonna start with 10 reps, nice and controlled, warm up, get used to the movement, flexing all the muscles during it, and we'll be good to go. All right, so El Moreno here, he was just telling me he has a problem keeping his chest up on bench. So a quick tip to help reinforce that position is I want you to shrug your shoulders up as high as you can. And then you're gonna go back as far as you can and then go down as far as you can.
Oh yeah.
So this is the position. A lot of people you'll hear tuck your shoulder blades in your pockets or retract your shoulders, but this is the position you wanna lie in when you're bench pressing. So yeah, if you go up, back, and down, just get comfortable with holding that. And then essentially you just wanna try to lie down in that same position. So when I lie down, I'm nice and flat. I'm gonna just bring my shoulders up, back, and down, and then I can use my legs to push up back onto my shoulders more, and it'll get your chest a lot higher. And we're not necessarily trying to arch the back. This is just a byproduct. A lot of people think this is, you'll be prone to injury having your back arched up like that, but you're not loaded through the spine, so it's going to be okay. You'd be more worried about arching like that during a shoulder press. So the more you can get your chest up, and then as you bring the bar out, you want to tighten those elbows in. Squeeze the bar good, tighten it like you're trying to bend the bar in half, and that'll help tighten up your lats, creating more power on the way up. Yeah, there you go. And now push your feet this way on the ground, like away from you. See how it pushes you up on your shoulders?
Yeah.
And then it reinforces that position. You can use your legs to stabilize it. There you go. Now grip the bar nice and tight. Twist those hands in. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah. Now we got the power going. Oh, you can hear the power. If you have a problem feeling that muscle working, usually the best thing to do is get more of a stretch in it. And by pulling your shoulders like that, it's gonna stretch your full pec out and then take a lot of the pressure off your shoulders so you can actually use your chest.
Okay.
So
Sick.
we wanna spend a lot of time at the bar until you feel like you're ready to start increasing the weight and you're warmed up and you feel good. If you can break a little bit of sweat before, that's even better. And then now, as we climb up in weight, we're gonna keep the reps really low. So we're only gonna do 3 reps at a time, but they're gonna be explosive as possible. And this is to get as much power as we can, but conserve as much energy as we can. Save that energy for the heavy sets and don't burn ourselves out beforehand. There you go. Use that bar high. Warm up wise, what we're doing for our weight is we're doing about 10% of our maximum weight increases each set. So by the time you get to your 5th, 6th, 7th set, that's gonna be your heaviest set. We're not too concerned with how many sets it takes us to get there because we're really trying to conserve our energy. So we're not gonna burn ourselves out, but you wanna take your time getting there and feel and work your way up and make each set as easy as possible so that that heavy set feels the best it can feel. If you don't warm up enough, it'll feel heavier. If you warm up too much, it'll feel heavier. So we're just trying to find that sweet spot and make it there in the most efficient way as possible.
So we just noticed something interesting. I had a shoulder injury several years ago. Really didn't get like proper treatment. I've just been living with it for 10 years. I mean, it's fine every day, but I do know that it's weaker. El Rubio here just pointed something out when I'm doing that warm up, that my right side is coming up faster. Jesse has a good explanation for why this works.
So why this is happening is his right shoulder is lacking in mobility, and as it goes down, it catches sooner than his left shoulder, so the left shoulder goes a little deeper to make up for it, and then on that way back up, the bar comes back up uneven. So generally, if you have a side that comes up first, usually that is your weaker side because your body's trying to put more weight into your strong side. So this is where dumbbells and things like that are gonna come into play, and also having a training partner or filming your sets so you can know what your set looks like and you know that you're doing it properly. But these are things you can work through. Everyone has them, I've had them. Have them on squats, deadlifts, different things. So knowing how to point it out that you have an issue and knowing how to fix it will just keep you healthier and make lifting a lot better in the long run.
Nice. All right, we're on to set 4 now. So we're getting a little bit heavier here, getting closer to our maxes. El Rubio's hitting this. We're feeling good. Oh, Rubio here is, we're on our 5th set, about to hit our max.
This will be my, almost a PR here.
Nice.
Woo!
Yes. There you go. Big breath. Nice. There you go. One more. You got it. Big breath. There it is. Finish it. Finish it. Come on. There it is. Nice.
Nice.
Just hang out with Jesse a little bit and you're just jacked instantly. Putting up PRs.
All right, so what are we doing now?
So now we're setting up what's called speed bench. So we're gonna take these bands. Generally you want a little bit of a weaker band. Set a nice heavy dumbbell down, loop the band under the dumbbell, and then just pull it up and attach it to the bar. What this is gonna do is it's called accommodating resistance. So as you lower the bar towards your chest, the band lessens in tension. So whatever the bar weight on the bar is, that's what's gonna be the weight on your chest. And now as you lift it, more and more weight gets added to the band. So we haven't measured these out, but I'm gonna say each side is probably adding maybe 30 pounds of tension. So therefore this is 245 on your chest and
275.
no, more than that, can't do math right now.
30 each.
Yeah, so 60 pounds, so 285 at the lockout. So it's a good way to help your body experience heavier weight without actually having to put heavier weight on the bar. And you also get a lot of cool physics stuff in this and kinetic energy. So normally the bar can only lower at the speed of gravity, but now since the bands are gonna pull on it, it's gonna lower faster than normal. Really, it's really gonna take it out of you. And we're gonna do some higher reps here, about sets of 7, 3 to 4 sets of 7, as explosive and as fast as possible during the set, and you're gonna get a really gnarly pump on it. You wanna get to like a 300-pound bench press, and your bench press is, you just did 245 for 3. So you wanna get up to the point to where you can bench 275 plus the bands. So now it'll be 335 at the top, 275 at the bottom, and then when you take those bands away, they kind of meet in the middle and you'll be right at the 300-pound bench.
Yeah, you'll be accustomed to
So it's good to go every other workout, do heavy bands, other one do heavy straight bar, and then you can flip-flop back and forth, and whatever one you do first, do the alternate one second.
All right.
But same concept, work up to like a heavy 3. And for your first exercise, you wanna work up anywhere between a heavy single, 1 rep, to a 5. That's a good strength building rep range. To really, what happens scientifically to your body is a normal person uses about 40% of their active muscle fibers in your arm, or whatever muscle you're talking about. And through heavy training, singles, doubles, triples, you learn to recruit more of those muscle fibers. So it's like adding team members to a tug of war team. You're gonna just make progress a lot faster than bulking up those 3 people that are already on your tug of war team.
Yeah.
And then the muscle building bulks those people up, and the strength training adds more people to the team. So you have a lot more potential that way to gain strength.
Sick.
So
Can I get you on my tug of war team?
yes. We'll go to Ireland and do that big one they do across the river. So we're gonna go a slightly narrower grip on here too, which is gonna work the shoulders and triceps a bit more and help expose some weaknesses and strengthen those weaknesses. Squeeze that bar tight. There we go. One more. Fast, fast, fast. There you go.
Different feeling? Sure.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yep. One more. Yeah, buddy. I feel like 3 is enough sets.
Yeah.
You can stop at 3.
Okay.
If you're really liking it and you just want to keep going, go all day on it.
If you've never done those before, you gotta do them. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, especially after going heavy like that. I mean, the chest is just on fire. All right, so we're getting over to dumbbells now, right?
Yes, dumbbells. We're gonna do a floor press today, which we'll demonstrate. And you're gonna lie on the ground and do it. And what it does is takes a lot of your shoulders out of the movement, keeps it on your chest, and it allows you to go further past failure. So we're gonna do a dumbbell floor press here, which is an awesome way to do the dumbbell press, which is going to allow you to go a little bit heavier than normal. And what you're gonna do, hardest part's just the curl to get them up, but you wanna bring it up, rest your elbows on the ground, which now your chest can fully relax, so you have to press from a dead stop each time. Lie down, head on the ground, press up, set back down, press up. We're just gonna get a nice little warm up here, about a set of 8, just to get the feel for it. And then we're gonna work up to 1 extended failure set. Boom.
Nice little warm up with 80s.
Perfect, dead stop at the bottom of each one. Good. We're gonna do the overreaching extended failure set now. Just to kind of demonstrate before I go through it. We're going to start with the full range of motion. And we're gonna be similar to if you dropped a ball. It's gonna bounce and the bounce gets smaller and smaller and smaller as you go. So as you start running out of steam, you can only get it maybe 2/3 of the way up. Just accept it, go back down, and you're just gonna keep going until you can't get your elbows off the floor anymore. Once you reach that point, drop it down. And another cool thing about this exercise is for those of you with a bad shoulder, this is a great way to take pressure off of your shoulder and continue to train heavy and still have fun, make strength gains, make muscle gains without beating your body up a ton. Oh, there we go. I understand that most of you are probably in a normal gym and you don't have these ring setups, but if you have a TRX or something like that, you can do the same thing. And this is just to take place of like a machine or a cable fly, because we're limited here, we don't have those. So we're just making do with what we got. So you want to keep a little bit of soft elbow, slowly lower yourself out as far as you're comfortable with, and then squeeze the chest back together. And we're gonna go sets of 12 here, get some good blood flow, get a good pump, maybe hit the beach after. We'll see what's up. Slide him out. Yeah, woo! So next we're gonna do a little exercise called IYTs. Bring out the old wrestler in all of us. So how the IYT is the I is a straightforward rep. The Y is 45 degrees. The T straight to the side. So how we're gonna do this is do 3 of each position, 3 times around equaling 1 set. And then straight forward, about the height of your nose. Keep good posture, chest up. 2, 3. Next one. 1, 2, 3. To the side. 1, 2, 3. Always making sure you have good control. You're controlling the negative portion of the rep. You're not just swinging it. So then we'll go back into the 3, 2, 3, 3. Oh yeah, now it's running. And then one more time around. Oh yeah. It's more important when you go to the side, so we'll wait till he gets to those here. But if you imagine you are holding a bottle of water or something, you want to try to, when you pause up here really quick, you want to try to keep this inside part slightly down like you're pouring that water out. There you go. And that'll help keep it on the actual shoulder. Versus a lot of people, you see them kind of rotate them out like this, which is going to train your rotator cuff a lot, and you're not going to get as much of an actual shoulder workout.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do 3 sets here. The first set is 3 rounds, the second set is 2 rounds, the third set is 1 round around, and you go heavier each set. On any sort of isolation exercise you're doing for any body part, let's use the IYTs for example, you want to have about a 2 to 4 tempo. So your 2 is going to be your concentric, which is when you're lifting it. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then 4 is the eccentric, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a tempo that's going to give you a 6-second rep. So if you do 10 reps, the set will take 1 minute. And a lot of the science and research in bodybuilding shows that about a minute of total time under tension is the optimal time you need to gain muscle, and having that tempo will just keep you in control. And on your power movements, like your bench press, your squat, your deadlift, you don't always have to worry about a tempo on those. Sometimes it's beneficial when you're switching things up, but those ones you're more concerned about your performance on them and how much weight you're actually pushing. So we're not really trying to think about contracting our chest, contracting our triceps on the bench. But when we get to things like flies and isolation exercises for our arms, shoulders, you want to really focus on trying to flex that muscle, feel the muscle lowering the weight, and actually tire the muscle out versus just move the weight. Because these are not performance-based. The heavy lifts are performance. These are to make you stronger. So you want to make them as hard as possible with the least amount of weight as possible. All right, so we're to the finisher now, which are called prison push-ups. You can probably guess where they were invented. And what these are is a combo of kind of everything we just did. So what we're gonna do is start with a push-up. And just to make it consistent for everybody, and we're also in a CrossFit gym, so I feel wrong doing it any other way, we're gonna do a hand release push-up. So what that is when you're doing a push-up, you wanna have your shoulder above your wrist. If you have wrist issues, you can either 1, stretch, fix your wrist issues, but 2, you can either go on a fist, or maybe grab a dumbbell or something to set your hand on to have a little bit better. But if you're fine with hands flat, that's even better. So you're gonna go all the way down, reach out, and press back up. 1 push-up, we're just gonna take a knee from the pockets, all the way up, touching our knuckles together over our head with this, foot cramp. With our knuckles touching, and then slowly bring it back down. 1, 1, 2, 2, and we're gonna work our way up to 10 as fast as possible. Rest when you need to. If you can keep going, keep going. If you wanna challenge yourself, set a timer. See how long it takes you to finish. Next time you do these, your goal is to beat the time that you got last time. And if you can't make it to 10, then just work your way up to 10. If 5 push-ups are very difficult for you, work your way up to 5, go back down to 1. It's kind of, you can make it as hard as you want to. If you can only do 2 push-ups and 2 arm raises, just do as many sets of those as you can. You can mix it up, make it work for you, have some fun, get a good workout.
is gnarly.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so that's the finisher if you guys want to try it.
What is it called again? Prison push-ups?
Prison push-ups. It's kind of a, you can kind of do this concept on any 2 exercises you put together. Say, I have some clients that do it.
Monstrous.
Yeah, keep going.
We'll do it for legs. We'll hit 1 squat and then 1 lunge. It's great for a lower body finisher. You can do it, you can do biceps and back. You can do it on anything. Just have some fun, get creative.
Yeah.
Comment below what you did it on. Let us know. Maybe we'll try it in the next video.
Smoke.
Can barely hold the camera.
Maybe you already have a gym membership and you're not really sure what exactly to do, and you would love to do what we do. I actually developed a program specifically for the Longhairs. It's an awesome program that's dedicated more towards becoming fitter as well as getting strong and burning fat. Has a little bit of everything, so it's got some heavy days, it's got some endurance days. It's an awesome program. It's helped these guys tremendously to help get them going on the bandwagon. And now every time when I see them, we're hanging out in the gym. Link's just below, click the link. And if you want to get a more personalized individual program from someone like myself, feel free to check out my Instagram page, Professor_Marvin. Shoot me a DM, comment on my posts, just tell me the Longhairs sent you. And hit me up and we'll get you going on something and help you out and teach you some knowledge, get you going to where you can work out on your own.